Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So Donald Trump officially this morning came out with his campaign platform / statement on the issue of abortion, which was highly anticipated. He said that he would be releasing it this week, and he did this morning. And it made a lot of people angry, some people on the right and some people on the left, even though electorally speaking, I believe that this is a very solid statement for Donald Trump. And we're going to go over it. We're going to go over what was in the statement, and we're also going to go over the reasons why people on the right might be upset about it and why they're wrong, and why people on the left are upset about it and how they're poorly attempting to spin it. So Donald Trump essentially came out in this statement. He said that he takes credit for the Dobbs v. Jackson decision, which was true. It is the win that conservatives were looking for on the issue for many, many years, and it gave the power back to the people. It gave the power to the states, which is exactly what it did. On top of that, he says he opposes late-term abortions and partial birth abortions, which is pretty much common sense. A majority of the American public does. Even Joe Biden in 2007, back when he had a few brain cells, also opposed it. It's interesting to see if he's going to try to, spin that as like a negative thing now. But then Donald Trump said that he does not believe in a national abortion ban, and he believes that it should be left up to the states, and each individual state should decide their own abortion policy. And a lot of people on the left were anticipating, he's going to come out with a 15-week ban. He's going to come out with a 16-week ban, which honestly, if he did that, in theory, one could say that it shouldn't hurt him. But because the American public is just so insane regarding the issue of abortion, it's like political suicide to even use the word ban. Now, I think at the state level, you're seeing, 12, 15-week bans being floated. And eventually when they come into law, it's something that is not all that unpopular, one could say. But still, when it comes down to it, it's not something that if you run on nationally that is going to help you, because the spin is going to be you support a national ban, even though all countries in Europe have a 12-week ban, 15-week ban. Our policy is radically out of touch even with the rest of the West on the topic, but still, that's a little bit besides the point. If you come out in support of a national ban, it's going to hurt you. Look at Republicans in 2022, Lindsey Graham doing that. I'm not going to say it impacted a ridiculous amount of votes, but would Adam Laxalt probably be in the Senate right now if he didn't say that? Yeah, possibly, because it is something that energized the left in a lot of swing areas. Now, it is true in like deep blue states, deep red states, Republicans were doing better because of the fact that abortion was pretty much settled in those places. And that is true. And a lot of people on the right are upset about this because, he's not calling for a national ban. It's like, here's the deal. The left wants abortion up until birth. And on top of it, they want to codify Roe v. Wade nationally. Donald Trump got rid of Roe v. Wade, and he supports states making their own laws. If you call for a national ban, you're going to lose. The Democrats are going to have a commanding supermajority, and what they're going to be able to do is they're going to go out there and they are going to make sure that we have a ridiculous level of abortions, late-term abortions on demand that's going to be legalized nationwide. The border's going to be wide open. We're going to have a ridiculous mess. Just because you decided that, we have to virtue signal. There's so many grifters in the right wing, even in the pro-life movement, their leaders, they're not exactly working to advance pro-life policy at a state level as much as they should. Instead, they're attacking Donald Trump because Donald Trump is taking a sensible approach to the topic that still moves the Overton window on the issue. But at the same time, it doesn't hurt him electorally. It doesn't ensure us 4 years of Biden. Look at the virtue signaling that was done by a lot of Republican candidates in 2022. If you look at Doug Mastriano, nice guy, but he lost Pennsylvania, a swing state, by close to 15 points because he was a hardliner on the issue. And obviously he didn't have a lot of money. He couldn't counter the attack ads. There's other reasons, but it definitely inflated Josh Shapiro's margin of victory. And you look at Tudor Dixon in the state of Michigan. She ended up losing by 10 points, and she essentially just said that she opposed exceptions, and by the time she tried to pivot, it was just too little, too late. So when it comes down to the topic, it's something that Republicans need to really be careful about. So Trump basically saying, I'm not going to touch the topic. It should be left up to the states. That's something that's going to help him out electorally because it's going to take it off the table. 2022, it was front and center. And even then, abortion was 10% of the public's most pressing issue. And that was when it was fresh. That was 2022. Those voters backed Democrats 78-19. Now you see polls and it's going down. This recent poll here shows it being just 6% of the public's number one issue, and it's in 7th place. So already you're seeing less people saying that abortion is their number one issue. And Trump is going to take it even more off the table because it's not like policy is going to change. If Biden wins, he doesn't have the votes to likely codify Roe. It's not like the state level bans are really going to go away anytime soon. And if Donald Trump wins, it's not like you're going to have enough votes for a national ban at 15 weeks anyways. So he's playing his cards perfectly when it comes down to this issue. You know, he's still going to have pro-life policy, reinstate the Mexico City policy, the stuff that traditional Republicans have done, the stuff he did back in his first term as president, but still, national ban, there's no point in virtue signaling about something that A, is unpopular, and B, is just not going to happen, and it's just going to lead the pro-abortion up until birth Democrats to have more and more power. So good on Trump for doing that. Now, the Biden campaign, on the other hand, is just dumbfounded because they thought he was going to come out and support a full total ban up to 15 weeks, and he didn't do it. He played them perfectly. So now they don't know what to do. So they went from saying Trump will ban it nationwide to Trump is okay with state bans. He's okay with states making their own laws. The same people that talk about how Trump is a threat to democracy are upset because people in certain red states want abortion out of their states and are voting for it to be out of their states. It's pretty ironic, but that's how these people operate. Biden is a third world dictator who wants third world abortion policy. That's plain and simple, and he wants it everywhere. You look at China, you look at North Korea, they're some of the only countries in the world that allow abortion up until the moment that the baby is crowning. And Biden and his party have routinely supported that, and Biden has not come out and condemned it. He opposed it back in 2007, but he's not opposing it now. So when it comes down to it all, this is all they have, and all they have just kind of went away. So now they're saying, well, Trump is responsible for state bans, even though Trump himself has said he supports exceptions and he's critiqued state bans like Florida's state ban. He called it a terrible thing. And obviously, it's not a terrible thing, but when he says that, he kind of just neutralizes the issue. So I'm not really going to sit here and say, well, he should have virtue signaled about it more. And that ban probably was too much too fast in a move of political desperation for DeSantis, because what it's going to do now is you have this referendum in Florida that's going to be taking place this November that's likely going to potentially overturn that law and essentially take the abortion law back to where it was in Florida a few years ago. So that's what it really comes down to. Democrats are in a tough position now because they're trying to blame Trump for like individual cases. But if the American people have an IQ above 5 and they can rationally think critically, then it shouldn't really be that much of an issue. And if Biden's trying to make it an issue, it's something that's really not going to move the needle a whole lot, because you look at the issues people care about. Immigration, even among independents, is number one in swing states like Michigan. And I'm sure it's even higher in Arizona. You look at the economy. The economy's not doing too well in the eyes of a majority of Americans, regardless of whatever jobs numbers that Biden wants to tout. And you talk about other things that are taking place and happening. There's not a lot of winning issues for Biden, even on the issue of abortion when he's been polled. And this was before Trump's statement. The American people only favor Biden to handle the issue more than Trump by single digits, and his job approval on abortion is actually underwater. And it's funny because even though Trump is responsible for overturning Roe v. Wade, it did happen under Biden's watch, and this is something that he hasn't really been able to rectify, and he won't be able to rectify even from the pro-abortion position, to the point where I don't believe it's going to help him out a lot electorally, because that's just how the American public tends to perceive things. And the reason why it helped Democrats a little bit in 2022 is because it's a state issue now, not a national issue. So Donald Trump is not likely going to be all that affected by it. And even then, you had certain Senate candidates supporting the 15-week ban, which was kind of seen as a negative thing. And these candidates were vastly underfunded in pretty much all cases and just barely fell short. So at the end of the day, it's like, no, I don't believe that abortion is going to sink Trump in this election. I think Trump's position might just take it off the table and, if anything, give him the leg up on Biden. He's neutralized the issue. He's neutralized Social Security. He's neutralizing healthcare at this point, and he's focusing on immigration. He's focusing on returning the economy to his policies that he had during his administration that were so popular and beloved by a majority of Americans. Even some people who didn't vote for him in 2016 or 2020 loved what he was doing on the economy. So when it's all said and done, it really seems as if this is going to be an issue that's neutral, and Trump neutralized it. They could sit here and try to twist Trump's words all they want, run a bunch of these sob story ads that are disingenuous. It's like, okay, Alabama doesn't want to have abortions. Well, then you could literally just drive to Georgia. You're going to drive a few hours. Like, is it that big of an issue to a lot of people? And Alabama's going to be voting red no matter what. So it's an issue that's not really going to work out too well for Biden, because a lot of these swing states tend to have these referendums. They tend to have abortion as settled law. Michigan has abortion as settled law, to the point where Biden's not going to be able to milk the issue if Trump is okay with Michigan's abortion law. Like, Trump basically is probably going to see an uptick in support, if anything, because of this, because the independents on the fence that prioritize it in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, they're like, okay, well, he's cool with our laws. Like, do they exactly care? Oh, well, some state has some law, like trying to tie Trump to that law that he opposes just because a court decision allowed it to happen is not going to move the needle as much as Democrats think. They have nothing. That's why they're trying to throw Trump in jail. He's got the trial coming up in New York. We're going to see what's going to happen there. But it really just seems as if Trump is Teflon Don. It really does. He's making all this money. It was supposed to be broke. Oh, he's going to come out in favor of a national abortion ban and lose the election. Nope, doesn't do it. So when it's all said and done, Trump is in a very good position, and he's going to go out there and win. And today's statement might be one of those key reasons why he wins. And people on the right that are upset about it because they think it didn't go far enough need to understand that he's not really caving. He's just playing his cards right, because you're not going to see a national ban get passed through the Senate with Trump in office, for one. And for two, he is the bulwark against reinstating Roe v. Wade, which is what many conservatives worked to overturn. So a lot of virtue signaling on the right, a lot of people upset on the left because they oppose the thing they claim to stand for, in people making decisions at the ballot box about certain things for some reason. I don't know, but this is a big winner for Trump in a lot of these swing states that Republicans fell short in 2022. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.